I started Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 9. I'm gonna start at. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. Now go and get some wheat, barley, beans, lentils, millet, and emmer wheat, and mix them together in a storage jar. Use them to make bread for yourself during the 390 days you will be lying on your side. Ration this out to yourself, 8 ounces of food for each day, and eat it at set times. And the Lord, you gotta do the Lord's will specifically. Look at Moses, King Mashah. Um, you know, he literally, Moses didn't follow directions. He was told to speak to the rock, not strike it. And because of that, basically he wasn't able to enter the kingdom. Although he was a chosen vessel of the Lord. The scriptures is real cold when you sit and meditate on it. For real, like the Lord can do whatever he wants. It's very important to follow the directions of the Most High. What is it? It says obedience is better than sacrifice. Roughly paraphrase. Verse 11, then measure out a jar of water for each day and drink it at set times. Prepare and eat this food as you would barley cakes. Prepare and eat this food as you would barley cakes while all the people are watching. Because he was like an ensample. The Lord would often use, prophets. He would have them go through certain things. Like the Lord, this is the Lord's script, is this movie. So just like the Lord sit back watching, he would do certain things to certain individuals and have the people watch. So you couldn't say you didn't know. Prepare and eat this food as you would barley cakes while other people are watching. Bake it over a fire using dried human dung, which dung is let's be funny. I like messing with people sometimes. Dung, ball of dung. Root word. And I'm going to the word. Well, dung is like shit. It's feces. It's waste. Increment or excrement. Prepare and eat this food as you would barley cakes while all the people are watching. Bake it over a fire using dried human dung as fuel, and then eat the bread. Verse 13, then the Lord Yahweh Shah said, this is how Israel will eat the foul bread in the land, so like in the Gentiles' lands to which I will banish them. And, if you pay attention, like it seemed like every other day they recalling some food or some kind of product. I mean, that's how you know this place is literally on the cusp of, just being utterly taken out. I mean, it's already over with. I made this statement over with because the spirit just jumped on me one day and I started saying it. But the point is, if you live to be my age, things aren't what they once was. And you got brothers that's younger than me and brothers that's older than me, or Salakia, respect. Elder brothers that's older than me and brothers that's younger than me that remember and recall certain things, and nothing's the same anymore. This devil truly has, to quote the one elder brother, he's truly have messed up the whole existence of life. And I met a female. She said, let's get the. She had some good. Oh man, too. That was Satan in the midst of that one. I said, never no woman, but it was just like, and she wasn't stupid, but it was just like Satan come to you too for real. And I'm like, over a bitch, I left. How many women? It's a woman right now, but I'm like, nah, like nah. We ain't gonna talk about that though. That's if these hoes don't get right, because they pretty much all hoes, right? If they don't get right, it don't matter talking about what you done conquered and had and all that, because you hoes, you gonna have to see them in the kingdom. I hope you remember their spirit, like the elder said. That one I remember. I hope she come back. You know what I'm saying? I remember the elder said that. That was funny. I said I wasn't gonna, jump all around the place, but Again, that's my spirit too. So anyhow, I was watching the video, and this lesson inspired by the video, because when you sit back and really contemplate these motherfuckers. So when you watch movies like Snowpiercer and certain movies, what's that shit called? What is it called? Green. Got Charlton Heston in it. I remember the brother put me onto that movie. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. Certain shit I just don't want to get into. Like I watched the original Dune, but they had to break up the new Dune into 2 parts. I haven't even watched both Dooms. And the second Doom probably way better than the first, because they show you they coming down with the spiritual power. In the first one, they showed you the spiritual power. They was able to use the sound, and like they said they had a microwave or a hypersonic weapon, some kind of weapon. Yeah, Esau got some shit. I remember reading about shit when I was a little kid. Yeah, I remember the Germans had technology when they thought it was flying saucers. They was playing around with aircrafts back then. The Roswell's supposed to be basically one of them aircrafts, and then they faked it to make it seem like it was a UFO. Now, the thing is, you hear 2 different kinds of information sometimes, like I remember the elder go to, I believe in the chariots. I remember I came across a book and I gave it to the head brother, and you could get the book a PDF file, but I was homeless at the time, and that brother, I remember bringing it out a few times. We talked about all the different encounters of the chariots. It talks about Saint Elmo's fire. But the point being, I remember the elder going to chariot, and they was talking about whoever, I can't remember all the exact details. But this devil does play a lot of psyops, with your Bigfoot and whatnot, which, it could possibly be a creature like a Bigfoot. The Lord could create anything, What's that in the Apocrypha talk about the Lord made 2 and 2? So if it's a Loch Ness monster, it's got to be a female Loch Ness monster too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, or a Leviathan. If it's a behemoth, it got to be a female behemoth too, right? I can't think of that one pastor, but he was talking about how the dinosaurs is really still alive. Can't think of his name. They locked him up. It's spiritual, because I remember I used to be all over the place, and maybe that's why I still am, because I was getting into all this different information thinking I'm getting deep. And then I forgot who, brought my mind back, because it was like, you can't be a master of everything. You got to, there's only one truth. But I could believe that this, as much as this devil done lied, of course, this devil hasn't even explored the whole planet. So how would he, the devil hasn't even reached the bottom of the sea. So how the fuck, when you get down to certain levels of the sea, the squid are bigger than buses. That's what, if you ever seen that, what's that shit called? The Superman with when they got Aquaman and all that, when they go down in the sea and they got so far, Aquaman was down there waiting for their ass. You know what I'm saying? No, that wasn't even Aquaman. That was Batman versus Superman. That wasn't even which I'm all over the place, like you. But I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash, double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and Aquat that they're listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Brother Yahweh coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be. Ba'ashem, Ba'az in, Haz, Hashem, his name. Yahushai meaning he saves, or he deliverer. True names of the Most High God and His Son, who these people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. That's why we said, Salakia. I know I should have immediately gave all praise, all honor to his Heavenly Father and his Son, our big brother, but my mind be everywhere, so forgive me, Yahweh Shemi Shah. But to show you why I think Ricky from Boston's a J, because he's always putting up edifying information, and he might not believe the truth, like the elder was just speaking on, he was talking about somebody, I forgot the name of the title, and I don't want to even go look it up, but the video, he was like, oh yeah, that's a Jake. but he a Christian, and so if he don't come out of it, and again, a lot of people don't like our message because they want to believe. I can simply take that message of, yeah, these people was this, these people was that, and the world set up that you supposed to really, because I've witnessed and experienced all that in my life. I've experienced racism. You got some Jakes that ain't even got a chance to experience it. You got some Jakes for whatever reason just naturally gravitate to, yeah, because deep down in your spirit, I remember the elder was talking about that. The elder was like, it never made sense to him about why, if we the more superior people, we seeing our people dominate in these sports and all these different things, why is this man in control? And then when you figure out why, it make all the sense in the world. That was a powerful video that the elder went into too, because the simple fact somebody else had the video. And I could see somebody had the dream, Salaki. Somebody else had the same dream that he had. That's very powerful. A lot of brothers having a lot of powerful dreams right now. I don't remember my dreams, and I don't want to. If it's meant for me to remember it, I'm sure the Lord will make me remember it. And if it's something I feel is spiritual or significant, I'll make it known. Maybe to benefit the true believers. Because I may not be able to elect, but I believe that I believe truly, wholeheartedly. And that's why, again, the elder said make something happen. The elder was talking about enchanting that for how long. I didn't expect this to happen, but I just didn't want to do. The scriptures talk about you got to do certain things a certain kind of way. And, Jacob be sitting up there, I ain't got no art with my brother and all this shit. And then something bad happened. I'm terrified of the Lord. The Lord made me homeless for years. I'm so terrified of going back, not even just going back to homelessness, but just imagine that with children when they cutting funds and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and everything is so lining up so perfectly. Like how they doing this. Like this might be very well it. I got so many videos that I want to do on the financial situation. You know what I mean? Economists or keepers of the house is talking about they think the money pretty much ran out already. That's why everybody getting silver and gold. And that make all the sense. That's why everything got to be back to silver and gold. And that's why pretty much a lot of these banks about to fail. I'm thinking about now, I put my whole, because it's way more convenient. I thought about this shit. I'm like, well, damn, but you rather have some money, you know what I mean, as opposed to having a check and can't cash the motherfucker. You know what I mean? You might have some paper money and be able to tell a motherfucker that's stupid, yeah, take this. And they be like, yeah, here. Lord might let you finagle it, but shit, that's why you got to just trust in the Lord. I'm all over the place. Salakia. But saying that to say this video was, so this is going to probably be a various topics because there's so much going on. So I'm going to just name this like a various topics or something. But I came across this video. So fair use, I'm not profiting off for this. I'm just about to line some stuff up with scriptures. I saw this video and then I saw another video. I saw a video. It wasn't this specific person, but it was an individual speaking on the same thing. And it makes you wonder how powerful the witchcraft is because sometimes you don't even take the time to, you got people that get high and think about shit. You got people that sit up there just constantly thinking about shit. It's a guy that I watched that make a lot of skits on YouTube. And, how he described himself, he said just a guy with a lot of ideas. But he talented in a motherfucker. If I could find him, I'll show him. He funny as fuck to me. But anyhow, long story short, he always get inspiration to make some kind of video that be funny, to me. But long story short, you got people sit back and think about, damn, this happened, that happened. But nobody takes the time to think about this. And it made all the sense in the world. And I was like, damn. So fair use. I'm not profiting off of this. I'm just about to line this up with some scriptures. And I got another video I'm going to line up with some scriptures. I'm going to copyright disclaimer for both. Lord willing, this is edifying. Now think about this.
I asked a couple cemeteries recently. And I think about like, yo, that cemetery is relatively small. And when I think about the 7, almost 8 billion people on this earth, and they say a person dies every 8 seconds. So where are all the bodies? Why aren't there more cemeteries? What are they doing with some of these bodies that are dying? Because if we are burying everybody, shouldn't we see a cemetery everywhere? And shouldn't all of them be very big? I drive past some cemeteries that are in like vacant lots, and they just got a couple heads. So I'm like, yo, what? And then you drive past some, it's like, I don't even see how y'all got room to put more tombstones in here. So what are they doing with all the bodies? how do you want to go out? I know some people are probably being cremated. Some people probably being dropped in the bottom of the ocean. I don't know, but what I'm saying is where the bodies at?
I'm not gonna repeat the video. And the spiritual, I forgot that the elder just mentioned this. Because they just all out in your face, glutton with their wickedness. The devil, literally, Ezekiel chapter 28. You know, DJ Trump is ruling like a king, like the elder actually said. There's a lot of things that the beloved elders, apostles have taught me. And again, I apologize if anything else. You know, I thought about the situation. I said, damn, I could have literally been like some of the individuals that became, you know, but I already saw that was the trap. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Lord will trap your ass up. You know, because it's the Lord, the deceive, both the deceived and the deceiver are the Lord. You know what I mean? The Lord creates all these situations and scenarios, constantly testing you, trying you. It's deep. But that caught my attention, and the elder brother said this, he made a statement about it. He was just like, I ain't gonna say low in the spirit, because that brother, you know, got a lot of brothers around him, and you know, but that don't mean that you can't be low in the spirit with a lot of brothers around you. I watched a particular elder brother low in the spirit, and all the brothers that was around him, and none of them could see it. We out here visiting, and I'm seeing he low in the spirit, but you know, I'm not judging that, because you know, as men, we might portray one way in front of our men or in front of our woman, and portray another way in front of, you know, brothers will be closer to their brother than they would to some women, and vice versa. So I'm not judging. All I'm saying is, I wasn't surprised that he left when he left. And now they talking about he got the bugged out spirit on him. Yeah, when you switched up all them names, all them names, like, that's crazy, that's scary. But I think, brother, when I first seen the video, put it in my mind. Then the elder brother made a video and spoke on it, and then I seen another video that showed something, and you know, so I'm about to show this other video. Lord willingly is edifying. So fair use, copyright disclaimer. I'm not profiting over this. Just let the line this video up with scriptures. Lord willingly is edifying.
Anybody want to tell me what type of meat this is?
What that look like? I'm gonna let you use your imagination. I gotta my imagination ain't even really vivid. I just could see that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's more vivid than others. You know what I'm saying? But when I dream, I do dream in color. You know what I'm talking about?
I ain't never seen no meat like this, man. What type of meat is this, man? And what supermarket is this in? I don't know if this went Dixie. I don't know if this Rouse's. Where this come from, man?
Gonna play that one more time and then get these scriptures, because and it's so amazing to me, but not really. Like the elder said, the beloved elder apostle said, he said it's surprising, or he said like it'll catch you, but he said not really though. When you take time to think about everything that we're seeing and witnessing is literally mentioned in the scriptures. That's why you got hope. You know, it's deep. When I went into that movie Thunderbolts, you know. You know, I called that shit for what it was. Like, people came into such a spirit of despair. People fucked up out here, don't know what they're gonna do, and you got hope just like I do. I don't. My lot seems so impossibly hopeless, but it don't. I don't feel like or you know what I mean. Like, I don't. I feel I did the right move, because you don't know how I feel and think. When I think a person an enemy, I do, you know, combative type fucked up shit. And again, I could be very well the wicked, and that brother could be righteous. And like I said again, I don't even know why I'm repeating this. I watched the elder brothers make a statement. I don't know what I said to offend anybody. And like again, like, I don't get many video views or whatnot, but I don't do this for that. I do this because I fear the Lord. I know what the Lord can do to me. I know the Lord preserved me. I mean, it's easy to say a lot of shit that you didn't experience. When the elder said that it's a spiritual deed in Satan, right? I met his physical counterpart, but I seen the spiritual demon Satan all on him. You get what I'm saying? That's what I meant. You had people take it and run with it all in Greek mythology and wrong. Oh no, man! Like, and again, if that whatever edifies, but again, you about to have to hold on to, man. Listen. It's so cold what the Lord just did. And think about it. I got to do this by myself. So I don't need nobody fucking opinion or nothing. Let me just, like I told two brothers I seen. Well, I talked to a brother and I seen a brother. And both of them brothers like feel kind of still got love. Never had no disagreements or nothing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the Lord purposely did certain shit. That's how I know this is the will of the Lord. You better figure out that that nigga vocab is really a demon like that. Hey, but I know that what the Lord did literally is the body cannot be blameless for nothing. Even if, because you got to understand, although the Lord know what I didn't do what I was supposed to have done, I'm still linked in with it. So the only one that can actually absolve me or, defend me is the Lord. So I'm done talking about that. I'm going to try not to talk about it no more. I get a buzz, a little, like, I don't try to get drunk, but I get a little buzz because I deal with a lot of shit. My children do not listen to the point where it ain't like they just rebellious. It's like they slow. And I know they are slow. I know they not slow. So it's like, what the fuck? It's a spiritual, like, I'm so spiritually drained, and it's easy to say that shit when you got the help and all that stuff. All I'm grateful for is the Lord be looking out. You know what I mean? Like, a weak man would have been tapped out. A bitch would have been ran. I watched one do it. Actually, I watched two. I'm trying to see what this one gonna do. But I ain't marrying you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at the end too. I'll let you go ahead and get a house if you can get that business. Whatever happened out of that, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what you want to hear since y'all like that type shit. I tried to do that no more. Oh, hey. Right. The elder said, what do you say? Sometimes it's okay to lie. But look at that shit. That's funny as fuck. I talked her up. Ain't that something? Anyhow, we down bad. So you better lock in with the Lord. I always forget to put this shit on airplane mode. I'll be busy, man. But I got some scriptures. So you'll be a fool to lock in to Babylon. You eating defiled food. They telling you that the food gonna get even more defiled. Snowpiercer show you that with the whole roach bars. This is the book of Revelation chapter 18. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Babylon is falling. And look at the state it's in. I'm talking about every other day it seemed like they talking about a recall on this. So, I mean, pay attention if you got a Newsbreak app for those, I probably do offend a lot of people, but I make my videos for people that's not offended. Scriptures talk about, if you say the spirit be on me, then, I mean, the Lord asked the question or said about as far as who be offended in me. I seen a lot of offensive shit. But I also seen the Lord work through certain men that did offensive shit. That's why, I mean, again, it's different generation gaps and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? I can't say people necessarily YNs. Again, I grew up a certain kind of way. Certain shit happened to me, we get to punching each other in the mouth. But you trying to be a new creation, that's why certain shit didn't go as far as it could have went. But I just only imagine how far shit could have went. And the most amazing part about the situation is you'll sit up there, belittle me, disrespect me, but then ask me for help. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. Oh, I'm miserable, huh? I'm not far from miserable. Like, the fuck? I can have my way for real. The fuck is you talking about? Like, don't you get that? I don't choose to do, well, I haven't had to do it, but, it wasn't I had to do it. I chose to do it because I have probably a spirit on me that be like, punch this bitch in the face. Like, do something to, like, so I have to fast. We all supposed to fast, giving up something to the Lord. And brothers actually switch that up and be like, fast when you got to, because everybody don't fast. I gotta fast. Babylon is falling. We watching the fall of this place now. If you think this place, man, listen, I can see them locking their bitch down, letting ICE go through the thing while they go to war. If you can't see that, you a fucking idiot. They gonna draft these young bulls since you such a raw, all that shit, want to bite the pit bull type shit. What we gonna see? What's that scripture in Ezekiel? Come and see. Hey, the phone, some chimed. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. You know, I was thinking about the video that the brother did because they was replaying another brother's video. He was talking about he saw a video of Satan or he saw Edom or DJ T falling. Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. This place is fallen. It's already failed. It's just waiting to it actually sink into the minds of the people. You gonna realize, and all that running, you know what people fail to realize is Donald Trump actually stopped people from actually like being able to leave and go like they wanted to. I knew a dude, I was working at a job, a dude, his woman got like a YouTube, probably a TikTok and all that shit too. If you that popular, she got like 1 million subscribers. So they living. The job we was working at, this was the most money I've ever made. You know what I'm saying? They not in trouble like other people. This nigga was supposed to leave to go to Hawaii and live. He said, I'm going to start me a channel and then I'm going to get my dad from up out of this job. Guess what? They never was able to leave. They restricting travel. Goofy ass motherfuckers. So you might have it in your spirit to leave, but if it ain't the will of the Lord to leave, your ass stuck. Verse 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, has become the habitation of devils. I'm talking about, that looked like a human fucking leg. and you know, I never thought about it till I was watching that. I probably was drinking it, dog. I can't remember, but I was like, that make a lot of sense, because you never really see no new cemeteries. When all these people died, where the fuck is they? Right. And the whole of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You ever watch the movies where demons be eating body parts off people? Yeah. For all and pandemonium is all demons. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the king of the earth have committed, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Because all these places have been joined onto her because they had to do transactions with her. What's that in Sirach? I forget where it's at, 28, 29, it talks about, or 27, it talks about seeing stick of close with buying and selling. And think about it, they ultimately want to put a microchip in you that's going to actually make you, you know, belong to them. It's so deep how it's broken down so easily. And if you can get it and understand it, it's for you. And if you can't, it's not. And the scariest part is when the Lord give it to you and take it away. You know, Jake, I don't know what the, like, you know, again, that's one of the most terrifying things to me. Like, I went through a lot to hold and retain this truth. I mean, when I got tested like that, I said, damn, this man treated me like, I watched this cuss out Edomites do, you know what I mean? I watched the Edomite get beat the fuck up. And by the way, since we telling everything, I cursed the Edomite, and I was so surprised that he got, Jake, we sit up there, the Edomite come with the bullhorn, he tried to do a vocab below. This nigga fucking with us so bad, and we was younger then. You know, I'm getting a lot of the shit that I chose to follow based on young men, because they supposed to be older in the spirit, right? Long story short, I know not to physically do nothing because where we was camping at, it's cameras everywhere. Everybody getting upset. Like when vocab came around, everybody was getting upset. But brothers through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah held their composure. It was somebody spiritual watching that video. I mean, I can go back and show you like, yeah. You know, but long story short, that dude was fucking with us so bad. I forgot what he did. He was up in somebody's face. Jake literally got so mad. He did something that the former head got mad about. And the former head was so quiet and polite, but I heard he was a deadly dude. He knew Kung Fu and all. Yeah. Bunch of bad motherfuckers in this thing. I wonder what that dude doing. And I didn't even know about, just because a brother lead the faith doesn't mean that he ain't a brother no more. We didn't even know about that then. Because you got Jake and they fucking emotions. Oh, I can't speak to that man no more. But you the one that been lying. Ain't that some crazy shit? Let the Lord figure that out though. I I start unsubscribing like people who subscribing to me. I don't even give a fuck if you do your video. Like I deleted when I left. I deleted everybody's number. Ain't nobody called me but like one person. But when he did that shit, it was so offensive because he personally got in Jake's face. He did like off that movie with what the fuck is his name? Nick Cannon. That was actually Drumline. All up in his face. Jake, like how he lost it, you know what I mean? But now I'm sure Jake got a lot more composure. Lord willingly. Because you got lives of men in your hand. And he did something that it was like, I cursed that nigga. And like 5 minutes later, Jake came from right across the street. And he always used to come and sit and listen to it. He came over across the street, beat the dog shit out of the dude. In front of I think his children was down there. That shit was crazy. But we didn't do nothing. That was just the spirit of the Lord. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that shit, man. Like, it was so spiritual down there because we used to get a lot of conflict down there. Just like a lot of brothers did in they downtown centers. And that's why a lot of brothers don't preach where they originally preached at. Because we going to be constantly on the move, you know? I probably won't. I know they know exactly where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, you know, unless the Lord make me invisible. But you got to think about it like this. Your idea of what your lot is not the Lord's idea of what your lot is. I've been came to the agreement of that. Why you think I always be saying what I be saying? Not an agreement, I understand. That's like when the elder sit up there and said, he was talking about the elder, he said his own day. But, you know, slip of the tongue, not of the heart. I'm not judging the elder. I just, you know, when you got a lot of shit on your mind, I be misplacing shit all day. You get what I'm saying? That's demons, man. But it's also, I got a lot of stuff going on. You know how hard it is to focus when you got to do everything yourself? And that's why the brother said what he said. He said, damn, you got to do it all on your own. And then he kept on just acting like by yourself, doing it by yourself and on your own. And Jake said, yeah, just do what you got to do. I know I didn't offend everybody. I offended certain people. And that's cool. You offended me too. Cool. May we be like brothers and forgive one another. Or may the judgment come. You remember the scriptures talk about we all must sit in front of the, what's that, 2 Corinthians chapter 5? In front of the judgment seat of the Most High to give account of what we did in the body, good or evil? Roughly paraphrase. Let me reread verse 3. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, but not no more. You can tell this place ain't making no money just because of the fake of the tariffs. The tariffs been at the same amount since they literally started. Like, they said they made billions. This nigga's such a liar. They said we made billions. You watch certain economists, they be like, they only made 300. No, he said trillions. But he said we only made 300 billion off the tariff. Because it's a term they call about the madman. So they said, I think Nixon did it. They was fucking with Russia. They was thinking, I can't remember what president did it, but pretty much that's what Trump doing. And then you had the nation start calling us bluff. Like Iran. He said, we going into Iran. Iran called us bluff. Now, trust me, they probably going to do the same type of Maduro situation because you got some bad motherfuckers that they hold. You know, I was watching a lesson. They was talking about, well, not a lesson. I was watching a video where you had economists break down most societies got 4 groups of people. And I can't remember all of them, but you got soldiers. So they hold, like the Spartans, they nation was soldiers to the point that they women was like Leonidas said. He said, our women, he said, you must know our women. I can bring my women down here and march them on y'all. That's what he said to the nigga. Think about that shit. Yeah, I'd have punched that nigga in the face. And then look, he still got kicked off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? He said, from what I seen of your army, I could march my women down here and they, you know what I'm saying? Like, I said, damn, that's some cold shit to say to a grown ass man. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. And that's why, you know, I listen to a lot of videos. You know, I try to do more time in the spirit than, just folly. I do my folly too, trust and believe. Drinking all day is folly, right? I literally just started drinking again today. I ain't drinking for like 3 or 4 days just because I'm like, nigga, this is killing me. But then my children did some shit that pissed me off and I almost smacked the shit out of her. So I'm like, nah, let me get the fuck away from you. By going to have a drink, I literally was able to sit and because I understand it's spiritual. Satan, my children aren't stupid, but again, they'll ask me a question, but then you'll sit and lie in my face. I've literally had them watch them lie in my face. We come to the bottom of it. Why you lie? So yeah, I remember a brother told me that. He was like, don't sacrifice yourself for your children because you don't know who they are. We all got to heed our own advice. Just like when you lose one. You got to remember, the Lord will have a righteous person give up the ghost as well. I just know I done did too much. I mean, I go through a lot of stupid shit. Brother told me that. He said, shit, your demons is the closest ones to you. The brothers, it was certain, you know what I mean? No, I don't think this is demonic. No, I know this is the truth. I just know these my trials and tribulations I got to bear. And that's what I said. I'm not mad at the truth. I'm not mad at the Lord. What can you do? I just like, damn. And that's why I always question, like, what did I do that I gotta, what did I, do some wicked, some Darth Vader type shit? What did I do? I did something. But you can't focus on that, you know what I'm saying? You might go ahead and do it again type shit like this shit. Oh, baby. No. Nah. I'm ready to go sit down. Tell that nigga. You had brothers talk about getting tortured. Imagine how vivid that was. I know there's a particular elder from Chicago that has a lot of vivid dreams. My dreams might not be as vivid, but I've had very vivid dreams. Told you, I used to have a dream about it snowing, and each year I literally know the day of snow. I never told nobody. I thought it was crazy. Then the Lord just stopped having me have dreams. I can't even remember my dreams anymore. Verse 5, the point. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Look at what they doing right now. They punishing the Lord's people right now. And this is the will of the Lord, but at the same time, it's like you doing the overkill, overreach. You don't think it's a judgment? The Lord got this motherfucker eating out of his hand, setting him up for the okie dokie triple homicide. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to be Esau. I'd rather be a doorkeeper, a gatekeeper in the kingdom of heaven than a fucking Edomite. You know what I'm talking about? I don't have to be the top guy. None of that. You get what I'm saying? And whatever the Lord got me going through, I know I deserve because I know I'm not shit. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Because the scriptures tell you in the book of Philippians chapter 2, seek out your own salvation. Now, the thing is, being a brother's supposed to look out for another brother if they see they're going on the wrong path. But, again, manhood, pride, men have a certain amount of pride. Men get off on, I conquered this man. You know what I'm saying? That's why, scriptures talk about happy is he that dashed the little ones against the stones type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's so good that I'm not affiliated except for with the gospel, what the truth is. But otherwise, I gotta eat what I gotta eat on my own. That's why, again, I get offended. But I know Jake gonna do what they want, like the elder said, because I want to. Well, that's, I could have said that's some nigga shit, but I'm trying to come to more humble situation because again, the Lord about to fuck people up. You might have did one look. You got to think about it. Our power could be like you doing everything right, but you did this. That's terrifying, man. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Just because you sit up there and disrespected this one particular person, I'm gonna fuck you up. I let you think you got it going on. That's terrifying, man. And I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but that is gonna happen to certain individuals, right? You got individuals thinking they in the truth that ain't gonna be in the truth and they say, Lord, Lord, that's in the scriptures, right? Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity, in her sins. Come out of the scriptures talk about come out of her. I just read it. For this is the time of the Lord, the Lord's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. He gonna reward her. He gonna repay her. A lot of people about to get repaid, and they not gonna get repaid in the way that they think. They think they deserving of these gifts. You know, that's why you got all these people talking about the new year. It's gonna be my year, and then they don't get this shit. Right? Call a lawyer like y'all, but I'm saying right. I don't know who said y'all got it. Again, I just want to be locked in. How about that? As much as I might try to be on point, I know my spot insecure. If the elder got all that time and said, I had to meditate on it, he said, I don't even know if I got a guaranteed spot. He said, that's why I try to be diligent. And we going to be honest, you know who ain't being diligent. If I know who ain't, and I'm on the outside looking in, ain't that about fucking funny? So instead of talking about me, why don't you talk about those that ain't doing what the fuck they supposed to do? Like, that's what you do. And not being disrespectful. This the way I talk, man. I could take the time to try to figure out some bigger words but to show you my intellect, show you my spirit. I don't know what you want. Like, I'm going to say Salakia. How about that? Since, I really ain't got to say it to you. What the brother tell me, I just say it to the Lord. You ain't got to say, fuck this nigga, huh? But the scriptures say you supposed to treat your brother. Wow. Okay. I ain't even mad. It's just like, I don't like, it's like a spirit with it too. It's like out the blue, somebody say something. You don't even know the situation. Like, but you got something to say. Like, that's what women do. And I ain't calling Jake no woman. What I'm saying is, you always supposed, the scriptures even say, know the matter before, right? Like, yeah, so anybody can fuck up too, right? Salakia. If you out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render on her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua's hand that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And you seeing the nations get mad now because they thought, we all on the same team. Let's do it like this. And now they see it. This nigga, this whore ass bitch want to suck it. How the elder say? He said, this bitch was fucking the whole crew and that bitch got all the disease. Just burnt everybody. But the one that didn't fuck with her, so try to tell you this is a whore, You know how you could try to tell somebody not to do something, but they just got to do it? That's a spirit too, right? I didn't recognize the spirit as much back then. I just was on some dog barking. They just like, like Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. This motherfuckers failed. Y'all just ain't realized it yet because we still got the appearance. I have watched several economists that all said the same thing. The way the system's set up, this is going to fall this year. And that's why all this gold and silver's out here. And then that don't save you because motherfucker come take that. Jake might have knocked something down and did some technique to a certain Jake, the human body's so cold, I watched the elder post a whole bunch of things about the human body today, right? And the human body's so cold, you could be an athlete and you could pass that on to your child just through muscle memory and through your body. That's just the spirit. Ain't that something? And then you got some athletes that's great and then you would think their child would be better and they not. LeBron James, for example. But they not ready. Like Esau, Edom trained for real. Like how Jake trained on the scriptures. That's how you know that that's really, truly, we the spiritual people and they really the carnal. That's how you know who Jacob and Esau truly is. I worked around a lot of Edomites in my life and I don't like Edomites, But I've tried to better my life here and there and it never worked out. This one, yeah, I'm gonna deal with it. The Lord keep on putting me in certain situations, and instead of just getting mad about it, I'm just trying to accept it. I might vent through these videos, which might be considered stupid or not, but I already know they know who the fuck I am. Like you got to be stupid to think. The thing is this: everything spiritual. You could try to be quiet and not say anything incriminating, and they still know who the fuck you is. If it's right, what you talking about? But I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just saying, like, we supposed to be. If you really. Your brain firing all cylinders and shit, like, come on. It don't matter. You got to understand you in a situation like Yahweh shot. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh shot at the lamb man, Lord, please take the cup away. Now, is you going to do like Yahweh shot and be like, But if it's your will, or you gonna run or backstab the Lord, well, what are you gonna fucking do? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain? If so, be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, and she's not gonna be healed. This place is forsake this place. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And you got brothers making videos and literally I watch certain podcasts that he's about, yeah, they trying to run, but you can't run. You stuck. Oh, wait. So I'm going to end it with this. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14. I've been bringing us out a lot lately because I made the statement about despair and hopelessness. And this went longer than what I thought. I didn't intend to go this long. That was all the Spirit, though. I pray the Spirit let me get over that shit. But I will say this. I don't hate that individual. I hope that brother don't hate me. Because with hating our heart to a brother, I feel some kind of way, but I don't hate him. And I think we would probably have to punch each other in the face, or stomach. I probably couldn't take no stomach punch. But no, we wouldn't do none of that. We sit up there and punch Esau and eat him in the face. No, I'm talking shit. May the Lord, forgive all his truth. Because I don't know who the elect is, and I don't know if I'm on the elect. I just know the Lord. Again, I moved the way I moved because you wouldn't have wanted me just sitting amongst you. I'd have probably turned into a demon with horns and shit. So in order to keep my faith, I had to go. Now, I know Jake gonna do what the fuck they want. Make a response video. Oh, you got your opinion. If I offended you based on something I said, I don't see why. I never said I was colder than anybody or nothing. I said certain shit that I said. I said I wouldn't have did certain things that certain people did. I wouldn't have never lied to the congregation. But the Lord can, forgive whatever he wants. It's the Lord's will, not mine. This book of 2nd Ezra chapter 14, and all the true believers are going to need this. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off the weak nature. The weak nature is literally trying to hold on to this world. That's a weak nature. When you clearly see it, if you really can see that this world is falling. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy onto thee and haste thee to fly from these times. That just hit me because I can't keep on worrying about what the fuck. I start just deleting Jake's channel. When I first left the truth and I seen what it was, I said, I'm not even going to try to. I used to go on the brother's page and say Shalom. Jake didn't even know what the fuck took place. But because the fact they don't want to be misled and it's demons and all that. Then I had Jake pop up out the blue tomorrow. Yeah, you should come down to the camp. Right. Now, only the Lord know why that brother was reaching out. But that brother must still recognize that I ain't bugged out or I ain't no demon. At the end of the day, may the Lord be with all his men. But that's a heavy thought to try and figure out, well, damn, why that happened? Or, no, cast aside that shit, I just don't like the fact everybody know, and you don't know shit. The scriptures tell you about you don't know what the mind of the Lord is because his thoughts is higher than our thoughts. So that's a bold ass statement to say you know why. I'm listening to all this shit. I can hear all this. That's why I'm tripping on you don't. Jake talking about you had a bad report. I left. You get what I'm saying? Truth be told, I heard. I ain't even gonna go that far. You know what I mean? Again, we don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't be that bold to do that, just assume or just based on some shit. People make up mistakes and make up shit, and you got individuals lying on us. I just say this. It was the timing of it was spiritual because when that dude came, that dude had a lot of fucking cameras. You know what I'm saying? A lot of microphones, and the way he did it, I was like, something ain't right about this. And then all the dysfunction he brought, I was like, yeah, something, it was just so weird. It was spiritual. And that one particular brother actually recognized it just like me. And it's easy to say what you'll do. So that's why I tried to do what I tried to do. Keep it to myself. But then you got people poking at the bear and shit. And you're like, damn, fuck. And then all for this to be the will of the Lord. Which I can accept. I don't need man individual to watch none of my videos. Now, if the Lord put it on your spirit to do that, that's cool. But I'm not doing this for fame and fortune and whatnot. Most people that don't get the attention that they want, they give that shit up. I know what I expect. You know, you had Jake sit up there and say that they met them and all that. I'm sure a lot of brothers did, and it probably went over their fucking head because you don't really realize what you into until you realize what you into. Like, I realized I ain't escaping this unless the Lord really truly deliver me. For yet greater evils, well, I'm going to read 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy onto thee, and haste thee to fly from these times. So, in my mind, I don't think about, well, damn, all this going on, because the scriptures told us about this is all going on. When brother sat up there and told me what he told me, I said, well, okay, cool, shalom. Just like I said it, I said, okay, Khan, I can accept it, Khan. Lord willing to see you in the kingdom. We gonna love on each other in the kingdom. Everybody gonna be the brothers that we supposed to be. Them curses dwell deeply in Jake. That's why we fight with the 2/3. What the fuck is you talking about? And you don't think it's 2/3 in the truth from all the camps? Come on. A nigga that's wearing a garment, like I told the young nigga. Well, no, he might not be a nigga. I might be the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to consider maybe you going off. You know what I'm saying? I just know quoting scriptures don't mean that you are the elect. That don't mean nothing. Showing is proven, right? Yeah, you want to sit up there, motherfucker, to hold your hand and caress it like, baby, you, but you a grown ass man. It's like, hey, anybody about to do all that? The fucking grown man talking to me, and I'm an older man. Like, I'm a little child, so why the fuck would I? Ain't no babies, right? We grown men, right? Verse 16, for yet greater evils, and them the red words. So, yeah, let the evils, bad times keep coming. I want motherfuckers to cry. You know, again, society consider me crazy, but I know I'm not. Fuck. This is a society that thought the Messiah was crazy, but they was all up in his face. And I'm not the Messiah. I'm a piece of shit. But I believe what the Lord believe. You know, like, this is the truth. I can feel it all in my spirit, my bones, all that. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. If you thought this was something, this ain't shit. You thought the ICE situation was something, this ain't shit. In my bones, I can feel this ain't shit. Wait till they coming in your house. So you better be locked in, you know what I mean? And if you a nigga playing on the fence, if you one of them agents that the elder, that's why I'm glad you can't say I'm an agent now, nigga. And the funniest part is by telling the truth, you know, I kept it real 100% pure. The fuck? And I could understand like the elder said, well, he said, well, you know, the individual tell you that. Who tells somebody some shit like that? But all knowing, all powerful individuals, hey, you know everything, so. I ain't even disrespecting the elder. I'm talking about the individuals that don't even know the situation but got something to fucking say. And I'm not even talking about that particular elder. Again, I can't never judge a man that, you know, I ain't really judging it. Just the Lord can make everybody look simple. You know what I mean? Like, I want this shit to happen tonight. Just test everybody battle. Get up on your shit. I know I ain't in no good shape, man. I'm getting old. I should not be doing the job I'm doing. These motherfuckers hurt. But that's where the Lord got me at, so that's where I'm gonna lock in at. So I'm seeing these crackers don't know what the fuck going on. They probably got guns in the car. Why? You know what I'm saying? Because that's how crackers move. They got the gun in the car. It registered and everything. This nigga did this. I heard them motherfuckers did it, like some fake shit. You know what I mean? You got to pray over them motherfuckers. Want to buy me coffee, you got to pray over. You drink your coffee like us. I drink coffee black because of the fact I'm a diabetic. Look, Stud bitch got an all black car though. She wants some black. She wants some black phallus for real. That would it. I don't want that spirit on me. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But she's not an ugly chick. If you see her, you can be like, oh, I'll pop her. What? It's funny because she'll come around me, smile, then she'll stop, smile. I was like, is this a girl or boy? What the fuck is it? Her. She opened up her mouth. I was like, oh yeah, this is a stud. You know, the nigga woman that's a stud and the Edomite woman that's a stud, they sound different, but they act the same. They both want to be like dudes so badly. You know, so it's hilarious to a degree. I bet you, I want to see them be dudes when this shit get hellfire, like hot type shit. So I'm just rambling about this point. Salakia for the running long sentences and running my mouth. If you're a so-called true believer of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you'll come back to the true faith and sincerity. You come back to the truth with faith and with sincerity. So with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kodash, double honors to the elders, to the apostles that I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwata to the listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord, willingly. Shalom, shalom. Kwame Yasharallah. Mwatha Lababal.